I've always run away from things that tried to control me. I was born a free spirit, and yet I have found myself many times over the course of my life living in confinement and constriction. My spirit forced to comply. I was never an eager rule follower, but for a time, I learned to play the game I was born into. The daughter and granddaughter of ministers, I learned to hide my true self to be what I was told God wanted me to be. My truest self would show her face from time to time. If I'm honest, she scared me. She was dangerous. She thought for herself and didn't submit to authority. She was a rebel. I think I always knew she would win in the end. A few times a year, starting around the time I was 6 years old, my dad would ask me to dance for the church services. "You need to use your gifts to glorify the Lord," he would say. I always felt an uneasiness in my stomach when he would ask me to dance for Easter Sunday or for the Christmas services. Why? Wasn't I supposed to want to dance for God? I was 10 years old the first time I said no to my dad. "What do you mean no?" "I don't want to." "But you have to," he said. "No, I don't," I said, while looking down at the floor in front of my feet. I felt his anger rising. I shrunk. "Yes, you do," he said. "No, she doesn't." My dad and I both shot a look in the direction of the timid voice that came from behind him. There stood my mom. This would become the first time in my memory that my mom openly defied my dad. She doesn't have to if she doesn't want to. Stitch by stitch, with my own hands, the needle pierces through. A pattern forms, a new design, something brand new. My fingers ache, and yet I sew, in and out, over and through. The seeds are planted into the cloth to bring forth what is true. I weave in threads of light from ancient places far and wide. As above, so below, from within, a brighter glow. On the earth I plant my feet and feel the bones underneath. The stories of what came before. I stand before the open door. Open palms, soft heart. Take from me what is ready to part. Leave for me what I'm meant to find. With this thread, this spell, I bind. A crack of thunder in the night. It shook my house and made me has now been left undone, and I am left to start over. By the time I was 17 years old, my mom and I had run away from my dad and the church for good. She taught me how to be brave, how to leave everything you know and start over. She taught me what a woman is really made of, and showed me the importance of seeking the freedom of your own soul above all else. I think I'll always be running away from anything that keeps me pinned down or asks me to sacrifice my truest self. How do I live uncontained? Is this not my mess to clean? Something bottled, something sealed from years before. The seal has now been left undone, and I am left to start over. Break open, break open, break open, break open. I've just been sitting here writing a poem, and you know when you write something and you're not necessarily sure what it's about, and then you spend a little bit more time on it, or you start to write a little bit further and you uncover for yourself what is surfacing in you, what's wanting to be seen, what's wanting to be witnessed and felt. I feel like you can't really see the season that you're living until you've lived it and can look back on it and reflect on how you've changed, what you've let go of, who you've become, and who you no longer are. But I do think that I have a grasp, a small grasp at least, on what I'm moving through right now. And it is what feels like a reminder to align first and foremost with my soul, with my heart before anything, which may sound obvious, but it can be so hard to maintain a intimate relationship with your soul when the world asks you to basically be the opposite of who you are when you're in alignment with your heart and soul. I'll probably read this poem to you in a minute. I feel like for the last 15 plus years of my life, I've been on this journey to align with the truest part of me, the part of me that is my heart of hearts, my deepest essence, the part of me that is not influenced so much by the outside world. My whole life I have felt ancient. I remember being 4 years old and sitting in front of my dollhouse playing and just having this overwhelming feeling that I was so much older than I was currently in the lifetime I was living. I was so much older than a 4-year-old. But it wasn't until I started going on my spiritual awakening journey in my early 20s when I started to remember having existed before this lifetime. I had never learned about the soul or our spirits existing outside of our physical bodies, aside from when you die, you go to heaven. You know, that was what I was taught. And so when I first started to come across material that talked about the timelessness of the soul and how the soul reincarnates into different lifetimes and different places throughout the cosmos, I immediately knew it was true in my spirit and my soul. And in a lot of ways, that is what all of my art is inspired by, is this longing to fully embody my soul and my spirit into this physical reality, to really feel all of the emotions and to feel all of the highs and the lows and the density right alongside almost the dreamy qualities of life, and to be fully present for all of it. My higher self has taken me on this very roller coastery ride of remembering and forgetting and remembering and forgetting who I am at the core, being in seasons where I'm very not in connection with my soul, only to remember and come back and let go of something. And even when it's grueling, to let go of something like my dance career and my acting career and my religion. All three of those things being really, really hard to release. I feel like I've been lovingly guided all along to release what needs to be released when it's ready to be released. When I had a strong grip on who I thought I was and identified so heavily with those things, learning how to release my intense grasp on that, release the clinging on to the things that I thought I was. Each time I've done that, I feel like I've gotten closer and closer to who I am at the core. This is the poem that I think kind of expresses how it feels to be disconnected from your soul, to be in seasons where you're not really in alignment with the deepest part of you. I wanted to run, but it was always there, threatening to keep me from myself. It interrupted my dreaming. I learned to fill the empty spaces within me and in every moment, to silence myself as I had been silenced, until I could no longer recognize my own voice. I became the pain in my neck that arrived when I was just 10 years old. Or did it become me? The first place in my body that learned how to hold myself in, contain her. I wanted to run, to be left alone again, with my imagination as my only companion. Freedom of mind and spirit exchanged on my behalf. How should I behave? Stand up straight, pleasant face, hands behind your back. Don't speak unless spoken to. Pray for mercy. Line your eyelids, smooth out your hair, nod your head. Learn to impress. Impressed upon me a wound, something denied, a new idea taking up residence in my little mind. It's good to be controlled. I wanted to run, but I fell in line. It's also good that I fell in line, because that's the whole point. Becoming disconnected, becoming a fragmented version of yourself in certain seasons of your life so that you can put the pieces back together. As you collect each piece of yourself and start to bring yourself back together, you learn who you are on a deeper level than you couldn't have known without the moments in time when you were a little lost. Tiaptia shanamdi, wehera, ara, mufu atatia ka, tisia tahandia, tia sanamandi. Tialahamdia fiesiapa rutusamukua kua fiasandi. Tia shananamdia fiasamamuku. Tia di anda andusunamuku aptia tiata. Shinamdia kua fisi atara amusumuku atu. Tira andia sananandia fia shananandi kia bahaya son. Tidia sasaya ta andia fia sisanamutu. Saya tia shananandia kaya sasaya Weni tarandia mudus. Fia shananandia tehia